Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you for zoning in with Zona. This is a special episode, actually. It's a new series that I'm going to be doing with StarMind One. Hello, I am live on Instagram and recording on Anchor. This episode will be posted on Anchor, Spotify, everywhere you find my podcast, Zoning in with Zona. So what we're going to be doing today in this episode is interviewing StarMind One. StarMind One is a beautiful mind. StarMind One is my fiance, my bae, sitting here coming up, requesting up to be in my show. But whole time I have a list of questions that I'm going to ask him and write one a little bit more. And I'm going to be doing this series on the Fluffs podcast, YouTube. So I'm going to be posting this video. We're recording it on what's up? What's good? We're recording it on Instagram, posting it on the Fluffs podcast YouTube. But this will be a series where Zona Fluff will be interviewing StarMind One seasonally. And I'm going to be asking him a list of questions to get to know him a little bit more. And, we're going to talk about some things, but I have some pertinent questions for you, StarMind One.
I'm not ready.
That I would like for you to answer. But yeah, it's gonna be fun because I respect you. You have a lot of really cool insights, and you're really interesting. Like your conspiracies, from political conspiracies to hot topics and social topics, cultural things, religion, meditation. You just be thinking outside the box on a lot of different things. So I wanted to ask you some out of the box, abnormal, abstract questions. Zoning in with Zona. So let's zone in with StarMind One. Welcome, StarMind One. How are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm nervous. Pertinent questions. You gave quite an intro, and I've got a lot to live up to. But I am grateful for being on your show. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Well, get comfortable because these questions are going to be fun. My intention for this and for the next few zoning in with StarMind One episodes essentially is to make it fun and laugh and just get explicit. Wherever it goes is wherever it goes. But ultimately, the idea that I have for this is to interview you seasonally. So we have fall, winter, an interview, a few interviews, and then spring, summer, because the seasons change and there's different hot topics and there's different things, and you may feel differently in one season than another season. So I really wanted us to have this interaction. I was gonna say reaction. Was interaction with each other on the StarMind podcast for people to get to know you more and to see us collaborate in a different aspect outside of StarMind podcast. So it's like a fun little sprinkle of us as a couple on social media.
I have to say too, before we get started, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You look great right now. I hope you didn't do all that for me.
First of all, I did it for me first. I just have to make that
always.
But yes, also I did want to present my best self. I am living in my ideal self, so I wanted to do a little light face beat, but then just look nice because I know I'm appreciated, and I really appreciate that you appreciate me. So thank you for the compliments. And you are flirting with me or something? Is that what's happening right now?
I'm trying to lighten up. I gotta lighten it up before these questions come. Yeah.
Okay, well, the first question is really fun. So don't even worry about this. Okay, question number one. Actually, first, let me get into the format. I have 7 questions for you, plus a bonus question, because Zona Yamazona is the IWZ 77.7. So there's 7 questions that I have written out for you. There is a speed round where it's a list of 5. I'm gonna just get to it. It's coming up, but I'm gonna get to it. First question: what is your favorite holiday movie, and what does that say about you?
Ooh, favorite holiday movie.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it is winter, so I'm gonna go with the oh my God. The Polar Express is my favorite Christmas movie. It has been for a long time, and I think it's the magic of the train. It just kind of pulls up in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And there's no track. It just kind of pulls up in the neighborhood. The kids get on the hot chocolate dance.
Yeah.
The servers come out, do the hot chocolate dance. The aprons turn into tables. They stand on them, then they whip them out. They're gone. Not a drop of hot chocolate spills on that whole thing.
Right.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And also it teaches it shows, it gives the kids inspiration in the movie, and I think that's what I like about it the most, because you know how I am about Christmas movies, and and this time of year, it's not typically my favorite time of year, but I feel like that movie really does get to the inspiration into the children, and it's not just about giving gifts or anything like that. It's teaching them to lead, to learn, to listen, and yeah. So that's definitely my favorite holiday movie for this season.
Nice.
And what does that say about me? It says that I need to grow up. I mean, it's a kids movie. I don't.
Is that really what it says about you, or are you just saying that to us? Of
I'm just
that
saying
is
that.
what it's
I'm
saying
just saying.
about you. So what is it really saying about you, StarMind One? Let's get deep.
Ooh, let's get deep. Okay, let's see.
The magic of the train. You mentioned the hot chocolate. These are
Yeah,
things.
I think what it really on really deeply, what it really says about me, honestly, is that I guess I'm still yearning for the magic of this world.
Mm.
You know, seeing the magic come alive in the movie, and I also see what it does with my kids too, and they see it as well. And I think that it brings out the inner child in me wanting to see magic in this world,
Mm.
more often than we do. And it gives me hope and it inspires me on another level as well. So,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
deep. There you go.
yeah,
The inner child, and I know that you do talk about that in your blogs. The summertime season was definitely a beautiful season for your blogging, the Star Q blog on zomind1.com. If you haven't checked on that, it's still up. And you were talking about the inner child and a bunch of other things, but that's just it's a really nice running theme. And hearing you say yearning for the magic of this world is, it's a reflection of you, like the magic that's within you. You're seeing that in Polar Express, and that's what I see. So
right. I mean, yeah, I feel like that we all sort of know deep down that there's more to this place than what we're shown, and I think that movie kind of brings it alive for me.
nice.
You're right. Easy question, yo, and not bad. You know what I mean? And we got a little deep. I appreciate that. I'm assuming this is gonna get more intense.
That's yeah, yeah. But I I do I do like hearing that reminder. You know what I mean, of how the magic in the world is something that one can yearn for, but you can still appreciate the little things in the children's movies and the holiday season and these aspects of the movies. Um, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
feeling, it's a vibe,
It's
right?
a vibe, and you know what else? Because I could talk about movies, but in that movie, the most skeptical kid in that movie was struggling to hear the sleigh bell because he didn't believe. And it kind of gets into manifestation of the magic when he starts to truly subconsciously believe in what he's seeing, and then
Yeah.
he can hear the sounds, the vibrations come alive when he can hear it. And it's on a deep level, it speaks to your core beliefs and the possibilities of what you can then see once you change your belief system. Once you believe something deep enough, you begin to see things different, even hear things different. So it's a deep movie for me.
Whoa. That's a whole soundbite. I am going to clip that. Those are some wise words. See, this is why I wanted to do this with you, because we get these gems and we get this juice from StarMind One, from StarMind One's mind. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's really That's really fascinating, and I treasure that a lot. Okay, the next question is, it's a whole vibe. So, and I feel like that's just, I guess that's my phrase of the night. It's a vibe. So this, okay. We're all human. None of us are perfect. I don't have the timer up. I was gonna have a timer, but ultimately, that's neither here nor there. So, if you were held at gunpoint and you have to choose one or the other, or you'll die, which will you choose?
This took a turn fast. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
to.
now, yeah.
It's 5 different one or the others. And you don't have to tell me why. Don't tell me why. You just have to choose one or the other.
All right, here we go. Lightning round.
1, 2, 3, go. Beans or mushrooms?
Beans.
Money or spacesuit?
Money.
An astronaut to help you chop firewood, or a coder to help you hunt?
The guy that helps me hunt.
Biden or Trump?
Oh my god.
Oh, set up! Sorry. I couldn't help myself. I had to laugh at that.
Damn, the latter. I hate politics. Gun to my head.
Okay,
Trump.
finesse. All
I'll go
right.
Trump. Yeah, no vaccine. Trump.
Fruitcake or cake fruit?
A cake fruit.
Reality TV or CNN?
Reality TV. Oh,
Fascinating.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so hold on. I may
You
have
you want to go over some of these things?
well, I mean, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to go back because I missed a whole. And this is why I feel like zoning in Zona is different than a lot of other things, because the format, I missed the whole part of it. So the reason why I'm saying one or the other is it's the apocalyptic world, and so you don't have access to all the things you have access to now. So it's like post-apocalyptic. You still have a gun to your head though, and you're about to die, or you have to choose one or the other.
Right.
So essentially, these things that you choose is to either benefit you or to benefit your situation. Like it's to benefit you. So I miss that whole, because like I guess I didn't mention that because I didn't have the timer and it was like 30 seconds, so
Right.
it was gonna be like a speed round. But ultimately, in the post-apocalyptic world, would you? And you know what? We have time, right? Time is our friend here. So you would what you said earlier, beans over mushrooms. So in a post-apocalyptic world, first of all, hashtag transportation. I'm going to turn this into part 2 of the second question. In a post-apocalyptic world, why would you choose beans over mushrooms?
Okay. Post-apocalyptic world. Beans over mushrooms. Okay. Beans have protein, and you need protein to survive. Your body needs protein to survive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can survive just eating mushrooms. I don't know. And you can never even tell who's testing these mushrooms. You never even know the mushrooms are like you pick them and they got to be tested. You don't know. Some of them are bad, some of them are good.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think.
what kind of mushrooms are we? Are we talking about psychedelic mushrooms? Because I could just meditate off psychedelic mushrooms and whatever.
Well, edible mushrooms. Like, I mean, mushrooms that are
Yeah,
psychedelic that you can eat.
I hear you. But also 3D world, I don't care for mushrooms. They've always been a fungus to me, and I don't know. I've stayed away from the fungus.
Okay.
I'm
I
still a fungi guy,
oh,
but
all right. I personally would choose mushrooms because mushrooms are fire. So, but
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
right, yeah.
Um,
But immediately thinking of post-apocalyptic, I think I would still go beans because of the protein.
mhm. Interesting. I think there's protein in mushrooms.
There may be. I'm speaking out of my ass. I don't even know mushrooms like that. We haven't been acquainted fully.
I will equate you with some mushrooms and rabbit hole mushrooms and their protein properties and and how they can be beneficial to you in a post-apocalyptic world.
Hey,
It's
soak in
not like,
beans. But you know what? You can't grow more beans. Once
mm,
you're out of beans, you're out of beans.
yeah, but mushrooms.
Mushroom, exactly. They pop up out of nowhere for no reason. People's front yards.
You know, in a post-apocalyptic world, because oh, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. That's a whole nother episode. So in this post-apocalyptic world, you do have land that you can grow things on. The land is still salvageable because we see in some post-apocalyptic shows like the 100, the land you can't do anything on the land.
Yeah, yeah, I guess yeah. And I also when you said post-apocalypse, I'm thinking like everything like they show it on whatever. Everything on fire. There's radiation, or it's completely flooded, and I'm swimming with a can of beans.
True.
So you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
who knows what's next?
I
What
think I
what was
think I was thinking of like post-apocalyptic, like basically going back to square one of Earth, where there's no technology and you have to like live out on the land and make your own food and grow your own shit and hunt your own shit, find your own shelter and water and fire. So
right?
yeah. I paused because I was just like in it.
You that whole timeline is what it looks like.
Yeah, but I can see how real like prime fire on the 100. Everything is just burnt and you can't do nothing with the land.
Right.
So when you think of the words post-apocalyptic, like it's interesting how people think of different things. Like I thought of something completely different than what I've seen in images and the programming of what I guess they want us to see as a post-apocalyptic world. But that's neither here nor there. That's another phrase I'm using tonight. Um, I am going to omit the Biden or Trump question only because I asked it specifically just to be controversial. All right.
Hey,
Um, I'm not going to give an answer to that. But for myself, I would.
hold on. Gun to my head, I have to answer, and you don't.
I don't have a gun to my head.
Are you holding the gun?
Am I?
What it feels like.
That's what it feels like. Um, I mean,
What was the?
first,
Hold on. What was the second one? That wasn't the Biden Trump one, was it?
no, I just skipped ahead because I could do whatever I want because it's my motherfucking podcast. And
Facts. Let me lay down my. All right.
I am having fun. I don't know. I really am just talking about it.
Yeah,
Okay, so number two was money or a spacesuit.
yeah. You already. No, not. no spacesuit for me. I'm not thinking that anyone's out in space. No, truly, I believe space is water. So a spacesuit, I'm not really sure what that would do.
You know what? That'd be a really fun rabbit hole to go into on another episode of the Starfruit podcast because I can
Yeah.
see that actually being, a thing. Like actually.
Right. I mean, it just depends. I mean, there's holy text. The Bible has it as water above us, water below us. The only people who told us different is the government. So I don't, or NASA. So I don't understand. I mean, even the Egyptians have it as water. Everybody else has it as water. So I don't know if I decided to drop the thousands and thousands of years of what people knew for what people know now.
Yeah.
So so a spacesuit, that's to me that's just a collectible. I don't know. I wouldn't do anything with the spacesuit.
I feel you. Interesting. Next question. An astronaut to help you chop firewood or a coder to help you hunt?
Ooh, okay. You said coder. All right. Okay. So an astronaut to cut firewood. No, I feel like I cut my own firewood. An astronaut to me, like I said, I don't believe in the whole, astronaut thing happening. I'm pretty sure those are actors. So I'm good on pretend to help me. And then and then a coder. So like you're talking about like an internet coder,
Yeah,
like a web designer,
a digital coder. Yeah.
little coder to help me hunt. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some distances in that mind somewhere, some calculations in that mind that can help out with some things. Um, I would count on the mind of a coder to help with a strategic activity than I would of actor helping me with something.
That's a very interesting point because whole time, did I intuitively like culminate that question because I connected the two?
There are no accidents. I believe in that for sure. There are.
There are no accidents. So,
Yeah.
hello, hello. So, okay. I said fruit cake or cake fruit only because I couldn't think of something else that was similar to cake fruit. Maybe, yeah. I mean, something
Okay.
else similar to fruit cake.
Well, here's the admission. I have no idea what cake fruit is, but I know that I wouldn't eat fruit cake.
I don't know what cake fruit is either. I just put it there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, but I've seen pictures of fruit cake, and I'm all the way good. Like I don't think I would dive into a fruit cake. But cake fruit, I'd rather try something I've never seen before ever than get a fruit cake, I think.
Interesting. I would prefer fruitcake because fruitcake is fire. So that's it. I mean that's not it. Last question. Reality TV or CNN? Like if you just stumbled across a TV and one of them had like well no. You stumbled across a
No, I
TV.
had a gun to my head, right? And I had to pick. That's the scenario here. So, and I,
You're catching my fumbles. Thank you. Yes.
yeah, I chose reality TV. All right, so look, neither one of them carry any weight to me. Like, I don't, CNN doesn't carry any weight, but that's obvious deception. At least reality TV can be entertaining, you know. Um,
CNN
yeah,
can.
that's right. Yeah, I feel like CNN is all the way just hell entertainment, and
Really?
yeah, I feel like the objective of things like CNN or other news stations or all of them are to pump fear into your mind, and at least reality TV is mindless. You don't get emotionally attached. I mean, some people do, But yeah.
I see where you're coming from, especially if you're not going to it looking for information. You're because for CNN, I find CNN entertaining in the sense that these political commentators are arguing back and forth and debating because I got Mercury in my first house. So debates are really fun for me to watch
Yeah.
sometimes.
Argument, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that sums up that the IWZ version of a speak round of one or the other. The next few questions are literally just going to be questions that I ask you and that you answer. We just talk about.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a pretty deep one. But depending on how you perceive it, it may be fun. Do you have a lost connection with someone that actually ended up benefiting you? If so, how?
So where losing the connection benefited me?
Um, why
How
are
am
you
I right?
questioning my question? This is my question that you answer, sir.
I'm trying to clarify here. So
Okay, so I wrote to you. Do you have a lost connection with someone that actually ended up yeah, the lost connection itself, but more so in the lens of the relationship that you had with that person being lost and it
yeah.
benefiting
So
you.
yes. I've lost a lot of connections in
Wait, hold
that
on.
in form.
Can I clarify something else?
Sure.
Lost not on the um like the choosing of either party. It just magically like it faded away. You know what I mean? Like it just got lost.
Oh, like
It
there
just
was
happened.
no like event that happened that forced it to sever, forced the
Yeah.
ties to sever.
Yeah, like growing apart, like it just naturally happened, but it ended up actually benefiting you. Not necessarily a small
Oh,
benefit, more like it was a reward. Okay,
wow.
clarification. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very deep question because I don't think I've I've definitely have had like connections like that get lost in life where it's two separate ways and then um but you know what I can't say that I've benefited from any of those losses in that way.
Hmm.
um I've definitely benefited from losses of other connections for sure, but those, were, that's ties severed. But in this form, no, I'm able to move on from those lost connections, but I don't see how it benefited me. But that doesn't mean that it didn't,
Mm.
if that makes sense. Like I said, I don't believe in accidents. So, I do believe that some people are in life for a certain amount of time and then not.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that definitely happens, and that's all part of your created plan for your future. And maybe I'm learning to benefit from those losses in this right now, right? I mean, coming to the realization that those losses may not have been losses at all, but time served, and time served, lessons learned, and there was nothing else to gain from those connections. And now I've taken everything I've had from those connections and used them and built on that to move on to the next level. So yeah, maybe you can't lose connections without benefits.
Mm.
'Cause, there are no accidents. I feel like if the universe separates you from somebody, it's only for your benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you believe in the idea that you created your own plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
a very interesting question.
I found it on Google. That's where Zona comes in all candid. Like, Rosak, I found it on Google. I Googled the questions to ask in a podcast interview. But that one really interested me because I was just like, interesting, lost connections. But yes to all of that. Yes,
Yeah.
because yeah.
That may be a whole I might steal that for my podcast there. That's a whole episode.
Yeah, definitely take it. Oh, cause oh man, that's what I was saying the other day to you. Actually, I was talking about this of how our like connections with people and our engagements with people. My battery. Sorry, my battery. Um, us planting seeds in other people. So each engagement is just us planting a seed. And if that seed isn't planted and we receive that seed from that engagement with someone, then we plant that seed in someone else without realizing it. So seeing that, you know, how we connect with people and seeing how we can just give ideas and receive ideas unintentionally or intentionally is really the beauty of life. Okay. It's the
Right.
beauty
And
of life.
here, this brings this question to me is if
Wait,
you
you gotta ask
remember
me
those,
questions.
no, serious. I'm
I
sorry.
got
I
you.
know I got this habit. I'm an interviewer too, all right? No, but if you remember these connections, then is the connection actually lost? Then that means if the seed is planted, then is the connection ever lost?
I mean, we can go into the biology of that and the brain neurons. If they like, if it's still connected, then it's connected, right?
Hey,
Something like that.
what? Yeah, I mean, we would have to get defining what the connection loss means.
Mm. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode, and I would love to support you in that culmination of that episode. Whether it's like, you know, I give you some of my ideas, we bounce ideas off each other, you interview me, however that looks. StarMind One. I appreciate I appreciate your insight on that. That was really profound and wise, in my opinion. So, you know, um,
Yeah.
let's get into this next question, which I high key asked you earlier. Okay. I have to, y'all. I, man, I laugh at myself all the time. So I'm laughing at this question that I wrote because I am finding so much joy in this process, in this interview. And I hope you all are enjoying it as well. And this is another reason why I really wanted to do this with you, because how we communicate when I'm asking you questions and you're in the hot seat, it's a different vibe. It's fun. Like, it's
Yeah.
so fun for me. Okay, this is the next question. What is something that you always have the tendency to sometimes do?
What do I always sometimes do?
You have
Um,
no, you have the tendency to sometimes you wait. What is something that you always have the tendency to sometimes do?
okay, I have a few things. So I always have the tendency to sometimes take everything personal and
Oh, right.
internalize.
Same.
Um, I have this thing where sometimes I always um take
Here.
something that somebody said, be it you or be it whatever. I can sit on that for a whole day and think about what it means to me and what it could possibly mean. And I can spend a whole day in this rabbit hole spiral without even asking what it meant. So I definitely have the tendency to sometimes do that. But I also sometimes, and let me give myself some grace here, I have the tendency to sometimes always um, put somebody else first. Like I can honestly say that I search for the respectful way out, if that's if or the respectful response, or sometimes it creates, sometimes it always creates a moment of even silence before I speak. like to think before I speak. Things aren't going a certain so, and that in my opinion is a huge improvement from the past self,
Hmm.
from just blurting out everything like right away and reacting immediately, and then coming back with I'm sorry's or whatever.
Hmm.
So, yeah, yeah, all right. So bottom line is sometimes I tend to all the time take it very personal.
I was like, mirror, same. Me as well. But that's what I was thinking about when you said that the last part was people pleasing. That's what came in my mind. Because that's
Yeah.
kind of like people pleasing, because it's like you want to be respectful, but in a more evolved way. But also, it's giving me Pisces energy because, you know,
Whole pipe right here, and these waters run deep. So I have to live with all my decisions as well, not just people around me.
yeah, that's a whole t-shirt right there, because that's some real
Ooh,
that's a reality. Um,
yeah.
cause yeah. So it's interesting how I just found out that I'm a Pisces in the sixth and seventh house. So not sixth. Yeah, because my Saturn's in my sixth house. So I got Pisces in sixth and seventh house. So I definitely take things personally, and I do relate to that. That is something that I always have the tendency to sometimes do. But
Oh,
yeah, so that'll be a fun little yeah, that'll be a fun little rabbit hole we can do in a like an emotional episode of the Star Fluff podcast. But okay, I believe there are like 3 more questions, 4 more questions. Okay. Um, what is your favorite Wild Boy memory that you haven't told me yet?
I, uh, well, I've disclosed a lot to you, so that I think the hardest part of this one was actually finding something that I haven't said to you.
Mhm.
So, and also not incriminating my past self. So,
That's up to you, okay? That is a choice that you can make with your past self if you would like to incriminate it or not.
um, wow, boy. All right, here we go. Here, I'll take one from my much younger days, much younger days. So it's not too crazy yet in life. So, but it does start off with me stealing my mom's car. So here's a wild boy. There was a young lady that I had these feelings for when I think I was 14. This was freshman year. So I obviously to impress them, all of them, but this one in particular, I would take my mom's car a lot. She'd go to bed. She had a full-time job, and I would she goes to sleep, and I would sneak out the house, take the keys, and be gone. And if I get caught, I get caught. And this night, this was the young lady's idea though. This wasn't me. This was all her. Like, let's go egg some houses, and I'm like, all right. And I'm keeping it real. This is gonna be a PG wild boy moment because my other ones are a little too explicit for me to say on an interview on live. But yeah, so this actually ended up being kind of a funny story. So I steal my mom's car. We get a carton of eggs, and we're hitting a couple of houses. We're hitting a couple of people walking on the street, and just anyone, right? So I had one egg left, and I was like, I seen this, this couple walking down one of the main streets in Sacramento, and I went to throw the egg at them, but I had the window up, and the egg went and it blew up in my face, and it went into the to the air conditioner, and I'm like, I got my mom's car, it stink, it starts as it gets into the thing, so it starts smelling like cooked eggs, and my mom, and I'm like, how do I get a whole like an egg smell out before morning? Uh, and and she's laughing at me. Of course, I'm not. I know at this point that the date's over. It's not. I need to fix my mom's car like immediately. I need to get this smell out because it's starting to cook inside the car. So like you can, because it got into it got everywhere, but it got into the air conditioner. It's hot back there, and it started smelling really bad. So obviously, gas station is where we ended up, and I was squeegeeing the inside of the car, and then I bought some potpourri, and I was spraying it in all the vents, and God damn, that was a hell of a night, and and so I dropped her off, no kiss, obviously, because I ruined the night. I think she got egged pretty good too. Like the egg, literally, the world's biggest egg. It just went everywhere. And and I was trying to get it all off the seats and out of the smell out. And it's kind of funny because I've actually never been caught stealing the car, and that time I thought for sure it's over. Like it's over. I didn't get done. I stayed up till about 5 in the morning trying to get the smell out. And the next morning was a Saturday, and we had to go somewhere in the morning. And I don't know. She made me go. My mom made me go with her, and I was like trying to not be in the car because I knew she could smell it. And I get in the car, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and I'm just like looking. She's not saying anything. She doesn't notice. I'm like, all right, it'll work. But there was still egg on the seat. Like there was like just dried up yolk on the seat. Yeah, and me being, master manipulator, 14-year-old, I'm like, hey, mom, you need to get your car cleaned because you got pregnant. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, putting the whole thing on her. Like, you are sloppy, mom. Like, you're dropping the car. Like, you got to do something about this. And it kind of smells weird. Like, what's that about? Start and just to get it all off. So we did. We went and got the car, cleaned, and that was it. I didn't get caught, but that was, yeah. I mean, honestly, after that, my wild boy stories get a little like I don't even know if it's worth like if I could share. So just to be fair to myself, you know what I mean?
You're not alone in that one.
Right.
That is so funny. That
Yeah.
actually was a really good story. Thank you. Because I was thinking like I don't know what I was thinking when I asked that question, but that's a pretty wild boy memory. That's a pretty relatable. I feel like a lot of your answers too and what we're talking about and this is relatable to a lot of people as far as like things that with this question specifically, things that you do as a teenager that just backfires.
Right. Yeah. And the whole thing, I mean, full disclosure, I was just trying to be cool. I was. I was like, yeah. I mean, who would go egging their mom's car? If I was going to a party or having some other fun, I wouldn't have done any of that. But no, I wanted to impress the girl, and she was on some wild girl. Let's egg some people shit, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm down for whatever. Let's do it. And then it's like the whole night stressing, trying to get the smell out.
That's so funny. I used to when I was like 13, 14, I used to change my clothes on the bus to try to be cool. So, and then what I would wear when I got to school, it wouldn't be received how I thought it would have. So I did all that. People watched me on the bus, in the back of the bus, changing. And it just didn't work out right. So I'm pretty sure there's people who can definitely relate to that. That's mad funny. Okay, next question.
All right, what do we got?
This is so random. Like, what was I thinking about when I wrote these questions? I don't know. I just earlier, like I said, I just wanted to have fun with this. I'm moving my camera so I can read the question. I really wanted to have fun with these questions, and I am having fun. So thank you for being here, StarMind One, for zoning in with me, zoning in with StarMind One. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for. I'm having a lot of fun, and thank you for everybody who's tuning in too. I mean, this is a lot of fun.
Yes, yes. I am recording on Anchor still. Is oh, okay. Well, you know what? We are going to upload this video onto YouTube. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this series, for this interview, and everything we're culminating. So, next question. What's one thing that you don't think is real, but if I showed you proof that it was real by having the ability to take you to see it for yourself, would you then believe that it was real?
Ooh, absolutely. If all right.
Well, hold on. What's the thing? I think, hold on.
Oh, okay. So not just all right. So
Both
now,
questions.
okay, look. Okay, look. If you told me that outer space was real and you had all the proof and you could take me there and I saw it, the a vast billions and billions and trillions of light years of miles of time and space with nothing, no, just a sucking out of a vacuum, no, pressure, a high pressure system or whatever, just happening, and meteors and flying through and, and all this stuff, and or if the moon was an actual object to land on. If you could show me that and took me to the moon and we stood on it, I would then believe you.
Wow,
Yes.
you know what I got from all of that?
What?
Challenge accepted.
A challenge accepted. We're going to the moon. Let's do it.
I'm gonna take you to space. I'm gonna take StarMind One to space.
Yes. Yeah. We'll be live on Instagram recording from outer space.
From outer space, zoning in with StarMind One in space.
You know what, too? The firmament, I feel like, would be something to explore as well, or if we're in an enclosed system or not. If you had told me that we're not in an enclosed system and we can go straight through the firmament as spoken in all ancient, languages of everyone before us, saying that there's some sort of enclosure, and you were to show that there wasn't one and we could travel forever through that, I would definitely believe you.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I will take you to travel through the firmament. Yeah.
Who's bringing snacks? That definitely.
Obviously, I am the tourist, so the
that
snacks are on deck.
was a setup question. Yeah, you're
I will
obviously.
be bringing the snacks.
All right.
Um, okay, so there's actually one last question out of the seven questions. Actually, this ended up being multiple questions, not just seven. But on zoning in with Zona, this is just fun. We're having fun zoning in with
Right.
StarMind One, ZIWZ 77.7, um, on this series. So I don't know why I put my hands to my temples right here. I guess because it's past my bedtime.
I was gonna say you're channeling the next question from your inner, and no, you're just sleepy.
I'm an old lady now, so
Oh.
um, yeah. So okay, it's funny how I just said I'm an old lady, and this next question actually kind of aligns with that. Where do you think the future of rap music lies? I can keep up. I can, but
Right. Wow. I mean, I'm an '80s baby, right? So, obviously in the early '90s is when rap sort of started in my life, and it's evolved so much from sort of a storytelling talent to a, then it was like a, here's the real of what's happening in these neighborhoods, in my neighborhood, and then it switched to a lot of drug usage, and putting a lot of drugs out there, a lot of just unrealistic, and it depends on how you look at rap music too. If are you talking about mainstream, like what we're hearing, what they want us to hear, or like what's really going on underneath? What, clarify that for me.
I would say in like our grandkids generation, I guess the generation after Generation Z, how they would revere rap music. And maybe I'm speaking of a whole generation of people in a general sense because not everyone's the same, right? But more like, okay, look, if we lived until we're 90, 90, 100, where is rap music going to be?
I don't think it'd be recognizable by then. I feel like it changed so much that I don't think it'd be recognized as rap. I think eventually everything will be pop.
Huh.
I feel like everything's gonna get merged into one. Like, this is music. Here you go. I mean, and I'm basing that off of a lot of other things too. Options is something that they like to, that the people, whoever's in charge, like to give us. So I feel like there's, it could turn into, in 90 years, it could turn into political rap, not street politics. I'm talking, you might be hearing the presidential candidate getting sang to you ad nauseum, only 6 songs in rotation on the radio to brainwash your vote. Who knows? I mean, I don't think in by the time we're 90, the music that we know now will be recognized. And
Interesting. You know, the words that jumped out at me when you said your explanation was well, rap and pop. Okay, follow me. Because when it comes to acknowledging sounds, right? And like I was thinking about rap in the original sense of how you communicate rapping. And then pop, like the sound of a pop, like popcorn popping. And it's
yeah,
that tick 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 like popping sound. And in a way pop music is really, and this can be a whole nother episode, but it's repetitive, this is a whole nother episode. But I
yeah,
see where you're
yeah.
coming
You're doing
from, and
something
I
pretty
feel
deep.
like what? Sorry. This is really exciting.
Yeah. Um, yeah. For music, I mean, when we're 90, you might have to go to you might have to go to an underground, illegal place to hear the music you like.
I wouldn't
You know,
I wouldn't be opposed to that actually. When I was a teenager, one of the first music places that I've been to was underground, and I don't know if it was legal, but it was definitely underground. So yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, the freedom of expression is something that, and art is something that we've always had to represent ourselves. And I feel like if, as a society, we don't make some leeway on our freedoms than expressing ourselves. I mean, we kind of already see it in media. If they don't like what you say, they can delete your account. They can ban you from expressing yourself to the public on platforms. So I'm just taking that where we've been, where it started, where we're at now, and if it continues in this direction, I feel like expressing, everybody being able to express themselves freely through music may not be a mainstream privilege.
Hmm. Mainstream privilege. Keyword mainstream privilege. But yet still something that many people have access to. It's just the
Yeah,
capacity of it and how it looks may be different.
Yeah, but I mean, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying any of it's gonna cease to exist. I mean, people are gonna do their art, and you're not gonna shut up everyone. That's a fact, you know. And we don't need to be even speaking that, but you know, it's we might we may have to turn the radio off and get back out into the neighborhoods and back into the community where it all started to
Yeah.
get back into communities and shut the TV off, shut the radio off, and create our own where they can't see you.
Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely happening as far as like people coming together and expressing themselves, whether it's through music or poetry or art. It's alive. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so that was the last question, but I do have a bonus question. And my phone's at 10%, so this is perfect timing. Um,
Perfect.
this bonus question is a riddle.
All right. Hey, what do you got?
Okay. What can you hold in your right hand, but never in your left hand?
What can I hold in this hand but never in this hand?
Yeah.
uh, it's a riddle. All right. There's an answer to this question then.
Yeah.
I'm stumped. I mean, I've all all kinds of dumb things I can say, but I really want to know the answer to this.
The answer is your left hand.
Oh,
Get it?
got it.
Well, thank you so much, StarMind One, for coming on ZIWZ 77.7. This has been Zoning In with StarMind One. I'm going to be doing this seasonally. So we got fall, winter season. We're talking, chatting. I'm asking you questions. You in the hot seat with Zona Fluff on my show. And come spring, summer, or even like the astrological seasons, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to be asking you a bunch of random questions and we're going to have fun. So I'm excited to incorporate this in with the Starfluff podcast YouTube as well. And also my Zoning Amazona 77.7 podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Radio Public, Breaker, and other locations. Apple Podcasts. So definitely download and subscribe this podcast if you want to hear more of us. I thought this was a really cool way to show us as a couple, as a unit, as co-hosts in a different light where I'm asking you questions instead of us, talking about topics that we both like or, having different ideas and bouncing them off each other in the Star Fluff podcast. This is a chance for me to 433. Yes. Thank you so much for all the people who joined in on the Instagram live as well. This was fun. But yeah, this is a chance for me to ask you questions, put you in a hot seat, and have you zone in with Zona.
Well, thank you so much for having. This was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you. And thank you for everybody who listened. Go check it out on all the platforms available. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. Have a beautiful rest of your night. And to all that are listening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Ashe.
I'll share.